Hello everyone, today I'm previewing my Universal Ballistics add-on. This add-on is designed to take any regular bullet in Garry's mod, which would be called a hit scan bullet, and convert it into a physical bullet that travels some distance, rather than regular bullets, which, in Garry's mod, are essentially lasers that can travel, the distance that they need to travel instantly. This is a unique feature of Source Engine specifically, because during the time when the engine was in development, it was the best thing to do. Simulating bullet physics was, the hardware of the time didn't have that capability to do that kind of stuff. And it still doesn't even now with Garry's mod, which is why we're kind of waiting for the next version to come out with the Source 2 engine and whatnot. But my add-on works pretty well, even though it's working on really old software. This add-on was inspired by a couple different add-ons, actually. There was one that I remembered that kind of worked, but it was kind of lame. It felt like it wasn't made that well, and I wanted to make my own and put a little more time into it, put more effort into it, so that anyone could use it on their server if they wanted physical bullets. Heck, I've even seen one server that had physical bullets, and I couldn't find where they used it, and they probably used their own on their server. So I wanted to make my own and have it publicly available to everyone so that you can customize it the way you want to customize it. If you want bullet speeds to go a little slower, faster, you want gravity, stuff like that, you have full customization to that kind of stuff. And here I'm just previewing how well, what it actually looks like for the bullets to actually be traveling. Because I'm using these tracers here to show the actual where it is. Because if there was no tracer, you wouldn't be able to see where the bullet was. So I have those there for that reason. And plus also it looks nice. And maybe sometime in the future I'll have it so that you can customize that, or you can turn tracers on and off, and you can do different things with that. I can definitely add in customization, don't worry. And you're probably also going to see in the video that I'm using a bunch of different weapons from different places that work perfectly. The way I actually calculate the velocities for the bullets, because they don't all use the same velocity. Pistols have a lower damage, so they're going to have a lower velocity. Submachine guns are going to be a little higher, assault rifles are going to be a little bit higher, sniper rifles are going to have the fastest bullet velocities. Of course, they're not going to be, realistically accurate, because the point of a video game isn't to be as realistic as possible. It's to, kind of wrap around realism, but then kind of go into that arcade feel a little bit. That's what's important. And I also currently support some settings so that you can change bullet velocities and whatnot, but I've made my own equation that calculates bullet damage, the damage that a gun has, a bullet does with a certain weapon, and converts to an actual velocity, which is then used for that specific weapon. And this is just the initial release of the add-on, so I'm going to be adding more stuff to it, making it look better. I know traces are kind of primitive looking at the moment, because there's no sprite or texture that's being used to draw them. They're just like blank colors, and that's it. But eventually I'll make it so that they'll have textures or sprites on them, and you can also add your own sprites and stuff like that, so you can have more customization. It doesn't just look like you got it from me or something like that. Makes it look like you made it, not me, right? And the reason why I was posting this video is to show what the add-on actually looks like. Because I know a lot of people will probably test out this add-on in single player, and they'll see that they won't see much. And you won't really see what is actually happening unless you spawn a camera and you actually see from like the side what's actually going on. And that's why I was posting this video, so you could see the fact that it's actually working. This isn't, some crappily made add-on. I'm actually putting some time and focus and care into this type of add-on so that people can use it, because there's not many add-ons that do this on the workshop, not that I know of. And I know there's plenty of other people that want something like this that doesn't lag, of course, because stuff like this does lag because the engine really isn't designed to support it. But so far, this add-on is okay. It does drop frames, I will tell you that much, and I would like to do as much as I can to fix that. But there's so much you can do with Source Engine. And on my computer, it does drop frames, but it's not laggy, and it might be different on yours. And that's why I'm never done finding out different ways to make it so that it doesn't lag, because in my opinion it really shouldn't lag. So, and one more thing I want to tell you guys before you leave, if you've hung around for this long into the video, if you're just watching a blank screen listening to my voice right now, and this will also probably be in the add-ons description as well, some kind of information on what to do, how to customize and whatnot. All of the customization right now is only in the console. There's no menus or anything like that at the moment. But in the console, if you type in Universal, it will give you like it'll give you the 3 different settings that are currently there that you can use. One's for disabling it. If you don't like it, don't disable. Don't unsubscribe to my add-on. Please keep it on your thing. But you can turn it off, and you can turn it on. Now, I don't think... Well, if you turn it off and you rejoin your game in single player, I think it'll still default to on. So that's kind of annoying. So maybe you can disable it. But don't unsubscribe to my add-on, please. And there's also a setting for changing the scale of gravity so that the bullet drops more, and there's also another setting so that it scales up bullet velocities, but pistols will still be slower than sniper rifles, and like that whole thing, all right? So that you don't have to worry, that's all an equation. You're just scaling the equation with that little setting, all right? So thanks for listening to me and watching my little preview video. Thanks, and have a good day.